Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, and may peace be upon us all. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my dearest audiences and dearest participants of the 10th International Brawijaya Choir Festival 2022. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to one of our agendas from the 10th International Brawijaya Choir Festival 2022. And for our today's agenda, we have a talk show with one of our jury panel, Sir Mark Anthony Carpio. But first, let me introduce myself. I am Firyanda as your host for today. And I will be guiding you from the beginning until the end of this talk show. But before we begin our talk show for today, I would like to invite you guys to turn on your camera and use the virtual background that has been provided by the committee so that we can communicate even in this online meeting situation. Okay, first I would like to say thank you to Universitas Brawijaya and Brawijaya University Student Choir as the organizer, as well as Telkomsel, Waskita Karya, Linggar Prabangkara, and Baraka Coffee as our sponsor so that we can help this International Brawijaya Choir Festival with ease. And now I would like to read out the rules or regulations that should be obeyed by the participants in the Zoom meeting. First, all participants must turn on the camera during the event. All participants are forbidden to turn on the microphone during the event except if the participant is given the chance to talk by the host. All participants should attend the event from the beginning until the end in conducive situation. Participants should use this following format for display name. Instance _ full name. For example, Brawijaya University Student Choir _ Firyanda. And to ask a question for our speaker, participants should raise its hand using the raise hand feature in the Zoom meeting, and when it's given the chance to talk by the host. The question can be asked in both directly to our speaker using English or using Indonesian, and I will translate it to you for our speaker. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, guys. Wait a second. Okay, and that's all for the rules, and I would like to inform you about something really interesting and maybe exciting for you guys. So the committee will give a reward for participants that actively participate during this talk show. So I hope that you guys could participate in this talk show from the beginning until the end. And now we will move on. For our today's topic, we're going to talk about becoming a professional choir singer to form a good quality choir team. And the point is we are going to talk about fundamentals of professionalism as a singer and how to be a professional singer so that we can build a successful choir team. And we're going to discuss this topic with one of our jury panel, Sir Mark Anthony Carpio. And before we move on to the discussion, I will read Sir Mark's brief profile for you first. So Sir Mark Anthony Carpio is a faculty member of the choral conducting department at the University of Philippines College of Music. And in 2001, Professor Andrea O. Veneracion, National Artist for Music, chose Mark to succeed her as choir master of the Philippine Madrigal Singers. Under his leadership, the group has been invited as a guest choir in several international choral conferences in the USA and South America, among others. Sir Mark has been frequently invited to give keynote addresses by prestigious international choral organizations, and he has also given online workshops for the Penang Philharmonic Chorus, the University of Arizona ACDA Graduate Chapter, the Choral Brahms Columbia, Bridge Choral Collective Canada, and the University of Minnesota Duluth. Mark has adjudicated in different choral festivals and competitions around the world, including Korea, Indonesia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Japan, Taiwan, Italy, and Latvia. And now, my dearest audiences and participants, please welcome Sir Mark Anthony Carpio. Well, hello, good afternoon, sir. How are you today? How do you feel today? I'm sorry, sir. Wait a second.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay. I'm sorry, the audio is kind of delayed here. So,
okay.
What time is it there?
We are 1 hour ahead, so it's 2:17 here.
Oh, okay. So I think there is a one hour difference here between Malang City and where are you from? Where are you from, city?
I'm in Manila.
Oh, Manila. Okay, we are from Manila. Oh, yeah. So there's a 1 hour difference here between Malang City and Manila. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, are you ready for today's discussion, sir?
I'm sorry, I don't have the background. I couldn't use it.
What is it, sir?
No, it's the virtual background. I cannot use it. Sorry. I think it's on my computer. I'm not sure if it's my computer does not allow to use. I'm not sure actually. That's okay. So we can move on.
Okay, I think we can move on. Yeah. So, are you ready for today's discussion, sir?
Yeah.
Regarding the what is it? What is our becoming a professional choir singers for form a good quality choir team? Are you ready for today's discussion, sir?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah.
Wait a second, sir, for the inconvenience. Wait.
Yes. We need to sound check. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so sorry for the inconvenience first.
That's okay.
There's a problem with my audio, yeah. I'm really sorry.
That's okay. No problem.
So maybe we could move on to the first question. Yeah, can we begin, sir?
Yeah, go.
Okay. So the first question. This is the first question. So regarding today's theme about becoming a professional choir singer, what do you think it is the meaning to be a professional? Or what is the meaning of professionalism in terms of being a choral singer? In your opinion, sir?
Yeah, okay. I think this is for so that it will be clear. Now, when we talk about professional, we always refer to people who do certain things for because as a work, as a line of work, and in which he is paid. He is paid for doing that. So I would like to believe that in our case, in choirs, hello? Okay? Yeah.
Wait a second, sir. I think there is still a problem in my audio. Please wait a second. I'm really sorry.
No, that's okay.
Maybe I will change my headphone first.
I'm trying to speak louder also.
Okay. All right. Okay. This is really much clearer right now. Okay. Maybe you can.
Okay, yes. You can hear me. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, I can hear you right now.
Okay, thank you. So, going back to your question. Yes, when we talk about professional, we usually refer to people who do things for their work and in which they are paid for doing so. Okay. In our case, I'd like to believe that here in the Philippines, for example, there is really no professional choir. We had one professional choir, but it was short-lived. That happened in the early 2000s. But as of now, I can tell everybody there is no professional choir. I'm not sure in Indonesia if you have a choir where the singers are paid for singing. I'm not sure. No, not really. Anyway, but what we do have are choirs. The opposite of professional choir is amateur. So we have a lot of amateur choirs. The singers are not paid, but they do it like as if it's their profession, as if it's their work. So what we I think the second question of Vidyanda is good. We are actually living or practicing professionalism in our choirs, even though we are not professional choirs.
So you are telling me that there are no choirs in Philippines that the singers are made for singing?
No, not now, not yet.
Not
yet.
But
yes, but do you have there in Indonesia?
I'm not really sure that there's a choir out there that has the singer that is made for singing, and I think in Indonesia it has the same case too that you're saying. The choir has many amateur choirs that maybe the singers want to be a singer.
So we do practice professionalism in many of our choirs, especially those, I would say, those of many community choirs and university choirs. It is, I believe that it is in the choir where we learn a lot of values that many of us carry on through, even after college, and when we start working, when we go into our own fields, we bring that with us, the professionalism that we have learned, that we have trained ourselves to do when we were in the choir. That is, I can safely say that is the case here in the Philippines.
Oh yeah. So it is really the same case as in Indonesian choir teams. There are many amateur choirs that use this professionalism for trying to sing together.
Yes, and I want to also believe that choral singing is one of the best preparation for any profession, for building that professionalism, because it is in the choir where you learn to work with other people. You have to work with other people in achieving common goals and achieving something good and an output where everybody is involved.
So you're telling me that choir is a perfect place to build the professionalism.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's all what I can give your feedback to you. Maybe if there's someone from the audience or participants that wanted to ask some questions to Sir Mark, please. You can ask the question directly using English or using Indonesia during chat, using via chat, and I will translate it to you for Sir Mark.
Yeah. Well, while waiting, I can cite examples of things that we learn to live here in the choir. For instance, that sense of commitment. This is something that we learned immediately. No, when you join a choir, you are allowing yourself to be governed by the commitments of the group. So it cannot happen that you want to choir, but I don't want to do this and that. No, I want to join your choir, but I will not join only in this, only in when you go when you do a concert, but I will not go when you sing in private events or something like that. It is a commitment. When you join a choir, you are involving yourself in all the aspects, in all the commitments of the choir. So you practice that commitment. You stay committed, and that starts from the moment you rehearse with the choir, from the time you start, from coming on time, because that's a sign of professionalism. When you respect the time, the beginning, the time that you have agreed upon, we start rehearsal at this time because everybody else knows that everybody needs everyone else. So that's why from the first moment, from the first minute.
Okay, so in professional, there's an aspect of commitment, but
Yes.
building commitment, I think it's not an easy task. So do you maybe have a tip or two, or many tips for building this commitment, especially for beginner singer in choir team?
No, it's always a matter of decision. You know, it's a matter of decision, and before you go into anything, you always have to weigh a lot of things. So before you get into any activity, I'm not just saying of just talking about choirs. No, whatever it is, perhaps any organization, or if you're planning to go apply in this certain company, you have to know more first about that company or about that choir and what you will get from it. Now, definitely, there have been a lot of studies of the benefits that we can all get from singing in the choir. Perhaps people or you just have to be aware of those things. What do I get from singing in the choir? Perhaps an average person will just sing in the choir because he loves to sing. Only because I will join the choir because I love to sing. That's good.
That's good.
Okay. Yes, but there are other things that you will get from it. Other things that you will discover if you read, if you do a little reading, and you can discover along the way. And for you to be able to maximize the benefits that you will get, you will have to decide to commit to this, to commit to this group. Otherwise, you will end up just harming the other singers, because the other people in the choir will be depending on you, and if you come only in a few rehearsals and not regularly, then the the other singers will not we should not be expecting much from you, and that's quite harmful. No,
Yeah.
that's not very good.
It's a quite
That's not
burden
very
actually.
good. Yeah. So
So
it's and we see it. We see it in each other how committed we are. So if we see that this person is not really that committed, then we will there's that tendency to distance from
So-
him or from that person.
so there's an option for the person to just quit the choir. Is that right?
Yes, actually.
Because a choir is
So that's but this is something that from the first moment we have to again decide that we have to. It's really it's a big decision, and many times the people in the choir who are responsible for accepting new singers will have to make sure. So these are the perhaps officers or the conductor himself will have to ask questions to that person and check how committed he will be or she will be to the choir if she gets accepted or he gets accepted.
so the choir conductor or maybe director should
Yeah,
check
Exactly.
the commitment of each of his own. No, sorry, for the
Yes.
singers. Yeah.
For the person who is applying. Of course, he will also have to check on the work ethics or work attitudes. Okay, so when somebody applies, I can tell everyone when somebody applies for a position in a professional choir, not something, and if that choir happens to be a smaller one, like maybe 8 singers or 12 singers, what usually happens is that they allow that singer, that applicant, to join them in rehearsals and perhaps in some concerts, because only then will they be able to see how that person works,
To see
how that
if
person
they are committed or not.
work ethics, or how is it, yeah, how his sense of commitment is.
So
It
how?
takes time. It takes time.
So to check the commitment of each person, it really
Yes.
takes time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
How willing that person will be to go after certain goals.
certain events.
Mhm.
Okay. So does anybody want to ask a question maybe or two to Sir Mark here regarding the topic about professionalism in choir singing? Okay. We have Priscilla Sukma.
Yeah.
Maybe you can turn on your AD, your microphone.
All right. Good afternoon.
Hi, Priscilla.
Hi, Sir Mark. Am I audible?
Yes.
All
Very
right.
clear.
All right. So I just want to ask about something, sir. When we talk about professionalism or something like commitment of the in choir team, then what's your opinion about the quality, or we should see the commitment from the qualities or quality, like which one that's matter in
Quality
quality?
of which of
Quality of the singer. So if what's about if one choir team have so many people, so many singers, but they are have not bad quality but medium quality, and what about the one who have the singers with good quality, but
masukin mic.
uh,
Nanti kan habis ini selesai dia tanya, narasumber aja kan yang jawab. Oke, udah.
Okay, I think I know what you are trying to ask. Okay, of course, it would be nice, no? It would be good, Priscilla, if a choir, when you organize a choir, in any choir, well, it would be best if the singers that you get are already very good, right? Are already have certain skills, certain particular skills that can help, that can be very good in the music making process. That would be the ideal. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen. So you usually, especially nowadays, because there are a lot of choirs, there are so many choirs, and some choirs they have auditions. In order to get into those choirs, you have to audition. And if you don't pass that audition, you try another one. So you try to look for in which choir you can sing, you can enjoy singing without having to undergo that how do you call that, difficulty of auditioning. Okay, so it happened. It can in many cases I meet choirs where the singers are not that in the same level, in not so high level of quality. If that's what you mean, but it's very important, even though you have a good quality or not so good quality in singing, it's very important that you have that willingness to work, that willingness to work with the conductor and with the other singers. It would be very bad, no, if you don't have that high level of singing and quality in singing, at the same time you don't have that commitment or willingness to work with other people. That would be the worst. Okay, so in my case, I would appreciate because I have other choirs. I have choirs. No, I have several choirs. I have a church choir. I have a youth choir, and I have the Philippine Madrigal Singers. Of course, there are in the Philippine Madrigal Singers. The singers are auditioned. In my church choir, it's not the case. So we listen to them and see if this person is something that is willing to learn, then we accept him. And then we let them go through a period of training and then see how well he works with us. And after that, we can tell him or her that, okay, you have passed the first stage, you can now proceed, you can now go on to singing with us more regularly, and etc. Okay? So that's how we work. So it's very important to have both. Now, in the same case, the same thing happens in the Philippine Medical Singers, because in the Philippine Medical Singers we try to practice professionalism higher than in other choirs. No? So the singers are expected to perform well. Yes, because they go through an audition. So when the first time they step in the rehearsal, they are expected to do well, to do good. But at the same time, those singers also go through a particular period wherein we check not only their singing, but also their work ethics, how well they work with us, how well he communicates, how well he receives instructions, etc. So those are the things that we watch, and that is the professionalism that we always look for.
Yeah, so back again, being committed to what you are doing. Is that right?
Yeah. In which choir do you sing, Priscilla?
Priscilla, maybe
Which
you
choir
can
do
answer.
sing?
I'm from Brawijaya University Student Choir, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for your answer. And so the conclusion is we cannot choose one of them because quality and qualities are also important, and
Yes.
it should be balanced, right? So,
Yes. Yeah.
thank you so much. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Fernanda.
Thank you so much, Priscilla. Thank you, Sir Mark, for answering Priscilla's question. So, I invite you guys to ask another question for Sir Mark. And if there is no question, we can continue to the next point,
Which is.
which is okay. If there is no other who wants to ask the question, now let me continue to the next point. So talking about being a choir singer. So what do you think the difference between being a professional choir singer and a solo singer? What is the difference between working as a choir singer and a solo singer?
Well, well, obviously, in singing the choir, when you sing in a choir, you have to sing with other people, no? And there are a lot of things that you have to consider in order to perform well. Okay. You need to make sure that your voice blends with those of the other singers. And when you have to make sure that your voice does not stick out. Meaning, when you, sorry, meaning your voice should not be distinguishable. You have to be able to contribute to the sound of the choir without having your voice being distinguished or being identified. When somebody listens, oh, I can hear that, I can hear your voice particularly. So when you invite your friends, for example, to your concert, and then they tell you, at the end of the concert, they tell you, congratulations, I can hear your voice really well. There must be something wrong there.
There must be something wrong, yeah.
So, yes. So your voice should not be, your voice should not be the only sound that's being heard. No? So when we say that your voice should not stick out, we are not just saying that your voice should not be louder than all the rest. Sometimes, with regard to volume, some singers will have to also work on singing stronger or a little louder in order to balance with all the rest. No? Sometimes. And also, a voice sticks out if he or she sings in a different way or produces a different quality from those of the other singers. So meaning, if all the singers are singing in a very good and bright tone, and then suddenly you enter with a really dark color in that particular note, then that's another way for you to stick out. Or maybe you're producing it in a different position of the mouth. No, everybody is doing it in one uniform way, and then you suddenly comes in with a different
And it
position,
ruins
and
all.
it comes a different tone or different quality comes out of you. Then that's another way of sticking out. Okay, and that's another way. That's another thing you can do if you want your voice to be distinguishable. But of course, we don't want that. We do not want that. So, in short, in choir singing, you will have to do a lot of this, a lot of listening to the other singers. And that is what we call essentially, choir singing is a teamwork. So you work as a team. You work on producing a unified, homogeneous sound by listening to each other and following instructions of the conductor.
The conductor.
Now, in solo singing, you don't have this. So you are interested in your own quality without having to check if that quality is or compare it with others. No, I mean you don't have to sing. You're not singing with others, but you also have to do some listening, especially when you are performing with other musicians, like for example a pianist or a band or an orchestra. And of course, for a solo singer, especially in our case, if you are not, if you are training yourself to be a solo classical singer or maybe in opera, then you will have to work on building power for your voice. So because an opera singer, for example, will have to, or your voice will have to be heard above the orchestra, above the sound of the orchestra, for you to be a good opera singer.
And you have to
And
learn
you will have to work on
about the
that.
placement of the sound of your voices
Exactly.
if you want to sing in opera singer. Is that right?
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
So the difference between being a professional choir singer and a solo singer, that you have to be considerate in a choir singing. Is that right?
You have to consider it. Yes, that's true. You have to really be aware of the sound of of the other choristers, of the other singers, because you're not just interested in your own voice. You should always do a lot of listening and a lot of following. Again,
So
going
be
back to that,
considerate
instructions.
to all of your surroundings, and in order to not to stick out, I think you're not allowed to be showing off your own voices. Is that right? Because there are many people in
Yes.
choir singing that does that. I find a lot of people showing off their voices
Yes.
even though they're singing in a choir. So you're not allowed to
Yeah.
you're not allowed to do that, right?
That's true. That's true. And of course, if you are, we were talking about the opera singer a while ago, but if you are in the pop music industry, if you want to do good in the pop music scene, then you will have to make sure that your voice, that you can offer something different from what others are doing. For example, you cannot just imitate the sound of this famous pop artist. You cannot just aim to sound like her or like him. You have to work on your own voice and aim to offer something different. Otherwise, you will just be that. Oh,
Just
he's
being another
sound
ordinary
like
singer.
her, like that famous singer, or he's just imitating that. I don't know who your singers are in Indonesia, or he's just imitating the sound of Christian Bautista, for example, something like that.
So discovering your own voices in order to be
Yes,
more unique.
exactly. Very good. Thank you for that.
Okay. Is there any point that you want to discuss regarding this, the difference between choral singers and solo singer?
That's it. Yeah. You know that in a solo singer will have to also learn how to work with others, no? But because eventually he will have to make music with other people.
That I can agree with.
Yeah, perhaps with other singers, but more so with other musicians, like instrumentalists. So they will have to make sure that they all listen. No, you know, in the concert, in the college, in the music schools, and most of the students, whether you're a singer or a non-singer, maybe you're a pianist or a flutist, they go through what we call chorus class. They go through a class wherein they get to sing with other people. I can say this with that's what we do, at least in our school, and also I know of some schools in the U.S. that do that. And maybe for a semester or two, they go through that, because that is exactly the training that we would like to get. No? The ability to work with other people. Even though you're a solo singer, you will have to learn how to work with other people. But then again, as I said a while ago, as a solo singer, after you've gone through that, maybe a couple of semesters in chorus class, then you will have to work on your own voice, on your own
And that's pretty hard.
identity.
Actually, that's pretty
Yes.
hard.
And that takes more time.
So in both ways, both in choir singing and solo singing, both need to work with other people.
Yeah.
So that means that in solo singing, you have more freedom in discovering your own voices than in choir singing. Is that right?
Yeah, you can say that, but I also want to add that not all of us will really end up being a solo performer. For many more of us, we just want to sing, and we just want to enjoy doing this, singing with other people. For perhaps, for many of us, many people can say that, oh, my voice is not solo quality, so I will just join the choir. No. Well, of course, when you join a choir, you still have to work on your voice, on improving and developing your voice. But I can assure you that even if you think that your voice is not solo quality, the moment you start singing with another person or with some few people, you will automatically sound better.
So I think that is the case for all of our participants here. They are really enjoying singing in choir. Is that right?
That's good.
Okay, and now I will allow all of the participants to ask a question or maybe two questions for Sir Mark here. Please.
Maybe they're shy. Like Filipinos, we are quite shy.
Come on, guys, don't be shy. Sir Mark is a good guy, you know? Hello? Anybody there? So I think that all the participants already understand what you are telling for this topic, for this point of topic. And I think that's a good thing, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody want to ask something?
Virianda,
Yeah?
I suppose you are a singer also.
I am a singer. I'm a tenor singer.
Wow. Okay, very good. I can hear. And also with the choir, with the same choir?
With the same choir as Priscilla in Brawijaya University Student Choir.
And have you been here in the Philippines?
I'm sorry.
No? Not
No,
yet?
not yet.
Oh, it's okay.
But I have seen some of the videos. The one that they're singing while sitting, maybe in a church or cathedral, I don't know.
Yeah.
Song
That
that I
song you were playing before we started, who was playing that song?
who is
I'm not
playing?
sure if it
From
was that
the organizer actually.
I have not heard that for a long time. I'm not sure. Was that the Mats?
I'm not really sure also. I'm really sorry.
Because I know that there are some Indonesian songs who sing that song, who sing that piece.
Yeah, there's actually many choirs that sing the piece. I reckon that also. Okay, and maybe we can continue to the next point.
Yeah.
So, basically, as a singer that work in a choir team, we definitely meet a lot of people with various different character. Is that right?
Oh yes.
And in your opinion, is it important for us to know each of this person in order to build an emotional bond, to be able to create a bond between each member of the choir?
Oh yes, and not only in this is true not only in choirs but in
Any situation.
any team, a situation that requires teamwork. For you to be able to work together with the others in the same team, in the same company, then you will have to know more about that person. You have to know more about what he can do or what he may not be able to do well, or what he or she likes more, about the likes, about dislikes, because you don't want to end up giving or doing something that that person dislikes or that that person hates, no? So you don't want to do that. So and of course, these are things that we have to learn in order to be able to work more efficiently and better with them, and especially I would say especially in singing, because we need to, especially in choir, no, in choir where we make music with our seatmate, or we make music with the person in that
With our partner.
Yes. So in order for that music to come out beautifully, then you have to agree. You have to agree on what to do, how to do it, and you don't just do it by just listening, no, without talking to each other. You have to discuss. There has that kind of a bond and that connects you, no, and that makes you agree on things and discuss them. And this is why I know of many choirs, at least here in the Philippines, that do a lot. They do regularly what we call a team building. I can say that, for example, for the Mats. So we go out of town. We go out there not just to sing, but also to do other stuff. It is when we do other stuff that we get to know more about each other. Okay, and we do, for example, games. So in playing games and team that requires teamwork, you get to know how team player each one is, and you get to know more of when you go out of town and you go on tour, for example, you get to learn more of that person. Because when you are in our hometown, we only get to see each other during rehearsal, or maybe after rehearsal, and when we eat outside. So when we go to another place, we are together for the whole day, or maybe for several days. We get to know more about our idiosyncrasies, our likes, and that leads us to getting to know each other more, and then making music more beautifully. That's what I want to believe.
Okay, but do you ever happen to meet a person, well, they are committed to the choir, but they just don't want to get along with the other choir members. Do you happen to ever experience that kind of thing?
Well, yes, for several reasons. Yeah, perhaps this is just one of those things that you have to know about those people, because sometimes it happens that a person is really not that sociable, not as sociable as other people, or maybe has certain how do you
Issues?
call that character or temperament which are very different from yours. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you cannot
Ignore them, yeah.
make music with each other, or that you cannot get along with each other. You just have those differences, and it's good to see those differences, and it's good to have differences, because we were not created all the same, no? And by seeing those differences, we get to
No, it's beauty in
admire more the God's creation, no? That we have different personalities. It
To
would
be able to
boring
know
if all of us
beauty.
have the same personalities, no? It will be those differences add color to our lives.
Yeah, beauty in diversity.
Exactly.
To be able to see beauty in God's creation.
Yes. Amen.
Amen. And then, what is there more?
Yeah. I think that's it.
Oh, okay, that's it. Okay, there's a question from Elsa Teresia Regan.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to ask about how to deal with cases where sometimes there's a member that feels that they is not good enough than the other members, so they wanted to withdraw themselves from the choir. So, in your opinion, what is your fear or how to deal with this kind of situation?
No. Well, I'm speaking as a conductor, okay? As a conductor, I believe it's very important that I know the abilities of each of my singers. And I should also know how each singer is improving, or I should be aware of the pace of improvement, if it's improving fast or if that person is quite slow. So I need to give the right advice. So I regularly do check up. So I check on them, and not just I listen to them. I listen to each singer, not just as a individually, but also as a group, in smaller groups. So because I feel that it is also a responsibility of mine to go after, to watch over the development of every singer, even though I know that perhaps that singer will eventually, if I'm saying no, if I have this idea, I think this singer is improving quite slowly. So if he or she does not step up, then eventually that person will decide to move on, okay? Or perhaps it will come from me, okay? I will perhaps tell him or her that okay, there are other people who are interested in your spot in the choir. So I will have to encourage you. I'm going to encourage you to work harder, so that you can convince me or yourself also that you are able to do it, that you will be able to make it. But it can happen that that person may have other priorities, or may have other stuff for him or her it might be more important. So that I cannot do anything about it. So that will be a decision that he will have to make. So if he or she thinks that there are other things that he will have to give importance to, then he or she will have to move on from the choir. So it's very important. So perhaps I have also some singers, assigned singers, who also listen and watch over those over the others. So with the help of those singers of mine, I get to know how everybody is performing. So if there is somebody who is not performing at par with the others, then I will have to inform them or approach him or her and help, give that person some assistance.
Maybe I want to continue the question from
Yeah.
Elsa. Is that okay?
Go. Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you're telling about as a conductor, right?
Yeah.
But what about as a singer when maybe we find that our partner feeling that he or they are not good enough? What can we do to convince them that they are unique? They matter.
Yeah. Yeah, of course we have to be enlightened and I think we need to encourage, right? We need to show some encouraging word. We have to give encouraging words and but at the same time give advice on what that person can do. Okay, we may agree, okay, you are not, yes, it's true, you are not good enough. But this is what you can do. This is what you can do so that you can improve. Okay, that is very important. And if that person listens and follows your advice, good.
Well, I hope.
That would be. Yeah.
I hope so. I hope so that they will follow our advice.
Yeah. And for all the singers, if you think if at one time you think this to yourself, oh, I'm not good enough, that is not the right moment to quit. Okay? That is exactly good when you realize that there are things that you can do better. It's always good to discover them. It's always good to discover that there are things that you can do better, that you can improve on. In this field, especially in singing, we cannot, when we say to ourselves, "Oh, I am already very good. There are no things that I can learn anymore." If you say that to yourself, then that will be the start of your going down. If you tell yourself that there are no new things to learn anymore, then that will be the moment that you will start to deteriorate. There will always be room for improvement. So if you think that you are not good enough, then just look at it positively. What are those things that you can improve on? And okay, I'm not good enough. Okay, this is what I can do. I can do more. I can vocalize regularly, or I can do more listening exercises so I can catch up to the level of the other singers. Okay, that would be good, and that will be in no time. It's good to accept those what you lack, and then move on from there.
And maybe if you are feeling insecurities, I think it's good to compare your today and your yesterday. Is that right?
Oh yes, I agree.
Because each day we are getting better, right?
Yes.
There's always room for improvement, as you say.
Yeah. That's why I I have some students, individual students. I ask them to record themselves. Okay, in the first lesson, let's record. This is the way you sing. We will listen to this again a few months from now and see and check on how you have improved. It's good to practice that.
And it's not
It's
just
good
in
to-
solo singing or choir singing, right? It's on every situation.
It's good to record your audition. When you audition with the choir, this is how I sounded.
So it's a good thing to record your progress.
Years after, yes.
That's good to hear, actually.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say thank you for Elsa for giving Sir Mark questions. I think we can move on to another question. If you have some question for Sir Mark, I welcome you to. All right, we have Daniel Sirait. Please ask your question.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
You know,
Hello, Sir Mark. How are you today?
good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Okay. Now I want to ask one question. If we are in a new choir, I believe to create a good choir team, especially when we sing together, we need to have a good bond between all singers, right? So do you have any tips on how we could create a tight bond between each of the singer? Since sometimes we have to sing with people we don't know before, and new people, and maybe different character with us. So, is there any tips for us for singing with a new people? Okay, that's all my question. Thank you.
I mentioned earlier how we do it in my church choir, for example. We organize those team building sessions wherein we don't sing, but we do other activities. I would recommend that. No? But at the same time, in the choir, what I do, when for example, currently I have new singers in the group, and I would like for him and for those singers to feel comfortable. Okay, comfortable with at least achieve that level of comfort with the other singer, so that he or she won't feel timid or won't feel shy to sing out. Okay, and so what I do is I organize them into smaller groups. Okay, for example, quartets. Okay, SATB, and I tell them my expectation. I expect, for example, I expect for them to work together, so you this contribute to the output, to the music that they will be performing, maybe in the next rehearsal. Not necessarily the whole song, but perhaps one section of the piece, and see how contribute in the decision making, and then identifying what can be done better, or telling them, or adjusting perhaps the volume or the tone quality, or reminding everybody of the instructions given during the rehearsal, etc. So in smaller groups, and then once in a while I would change the groupings assignments. So I would ask the soprano to sing in to practice with another group, so that that person can also learn to work with the other singers, not just in the first assignment. This has worked. And this has been proven to be effective. So I would recommend that. And you may also do that not just in quartets, but also as a section. For example, there are 5 sopranos. Okay, the 5 sopranos, I will ask you to work together. So this is what I would like you to achieve. This is what I'd like you to work on, and see. And in those smaller groups, I would recommend everybody to make sure that everybody has something to say. It contributes something. Okay. So if there is somebody who is not speaking, talk to him and ask him or ask her some questions, so that he will he or she may feel more part of the group and not just an spectator, not just an audience. Okay, that person should be part of the music making process.
Okay,
That's
thank
good.
you
That's
so
good.
much. It's very good answer. So it's all about building communication and giving opinion.
Yes.
Okay, I get it now. Thank you, Sir Mark.
Thank you too.
Thank you, Daniel, for giving Sir Mark some questions. And now, considering the time, let's continue to the next point. Okay, so still talking about professionalism. So, do you have your own priority scale, or how you manage your time to improve your performance or give your best to your choir team?
Again. Can you say that again? Rianta.
Okay, we're talking about professionalism here.
Yes.
Do you have your own priority scale? Or how do you manage your time to improve the performance or maybe give your best to your choir team?
Okay. All of us will have other things to take care of. We may be students, and aside from the choir, we have other subjects too that we have to pass. No, that we have exams that we have to pass, or projects that we have to submit. Okay, we have those priorities, but remember that what we do in the choir is also a training for us later on. So we cannot just immediately say that, okay, I will leave the choir first and just take care of my project or my assignment or my how do you call it, etc. No? And those other things. So the first thing you will have to do actually is your time management, how you manage your time. This is the first thing that we have to check, and not immediately decide to leave things. Okay, that would be a lack of responsibility. That would be because you can easily say that to other staff, to your other teachers also. Okay, you can easily say to your one teacher, okay, I will leave this subject, this class, because I want to be in the choir. I'm prioritizing my choir. That would be not good as well. Okay, so it's all a matter of managing your time. You will have to identify what you have to, how much time you will have to put in certain things, and how much time you will have to sacrifice from other things. Okay, so this is what we are trained to do in the choir. Okay, if after a certain time, let's say for example, if you think that after 3 months, after 3 months or 4, and you keep on having this recurring problem, recurring situation, no? Then perhaps that is the time that you can try and make a decision, and which one you will have to give up. It is not, what I'm saying is that when you feel a challenge, when you feel something difficult, giving up is not the the solution. Okay? And of course, we will have other personal stuff. We have to take care of we have our personal likes, we have our personal
Personal
Other
preferences.
than class, other than choir, we have our, how do you call that? Yeah.
Other
So,
activities.
of course, when we go to the choir, we will have to put that aside. We will have to learn how to put things aside and focus more on what is more important for the group rather than what is more important for us, for ourselves. Yeah?
I think that answer about this point. And now maybe we will move on to the last point. May I?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So usually in a choir team there will always be a problem since all members have different character, maybe opinion, personality, and yeah, many more. So sir, how did you think that we should professionally positioning ourselves as a choir team member whenever there is such problem occurring?
And the bigger the choir, the more, many more things can happen, right?
That's right.
No, in any group whatsoever, any group, choirs included, it's always good to have this certain people who are responsible for managing the people, the singers themselves. Okay, it would be difficult, for example, for the conductor himself to do that, to be how do you call that? The conductor is the one who takes care of the music, who thinks of the music, who thinks of the rehearsal process. So it would be better if there are other people who would be thinking more of the internal things, rather the character differences or how do you say it? Disagreements with, which eventually will always happen, because whenever there are a lot of people gathering together, there will always something like this that will eventually happen. Okay, and that is why it's good to have people assigned to take care of that. And this is where officers come in. Like the officers of the choir can come in, or officers of or management of the choir come in. So this is where they, if, for example, as a singer, you encounter a problem, you see that people are not agreeing or people are not going along, it is something that you have to bring up. It is not something that you talk about among yourselves. So it is something that you bring up to the people who are responsible for it.
So you need to talk about it with other people, right?
What I'm saying is that you don't want to end up gossiping or making gossip about other, and especially negatively about other people. If there is a problem, bring it up to the right, to the ones responsible, and not just among yourselves. Again, because we are interested in what is good for the group.
Okay, so I think that's pretty clear, actually pretty clear, and I think that's the last point of our discussion today.
Oh,
So yeah, all right. Thank you very much, Sir Mark, for your time, and well, it is such a wonderful information and a new knowledge for us actually. And before we take some memories of today, we actually have a little gift for you as our appreciation for you, sir. And it is a certificate that will be given directly by Daniel Sirait as the Chief of Committee of the 10th International Brawijaya Choir Festival 2022. How are you feeling about this little gift of ours?
thank you. I feel grateful. Surprise. Is it something you will send me or out there? Okay.
Okay, for Daniel Sirait. for the host.
Somebody needs to unmute him.
Excuse me, host. Can you please unmute Daniel Sirait, please?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
There.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so Mark, thank you very much for your time and for the great explanation for us and this afternoon. Yeah, so here's a certificate as a symbol of our appreciation, and thank you for being a dedicator and your willingness to be a speaker in this talk show. I hope we can meet soon, and I wish you a good health and success always. God bless you, Sir Mark.
God bless.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I hope to meet you all too.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay, now for the documentation. Okay. And now we would like also to say thank you to our sponsor, Telkomsel and Waskita Karya. And now thank you, Daniel. And once again, thank you very much, Sir Mark, for giving us such wonderful information. And not to forget our mention to our sponsor, Telkomsel and Waskita Karya. And next is a documentation sessions as our today's memories. And I would like to invite Sir Mark and all of the participants in the Zoom meeting to join us in this session. And I would like to invite you guys to turn on your camera, please. Hello guys, please turn on your camera. It's documentation time. Okay, now for the committee, please document it.
We will take the picture.
Alright, for documentation. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Wait, I forgot to turn on my camera. Let's repeat again. 1, 2, 3. Another one maybe. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much for this documentation session. And yeah, thank you very much, Sir Mark. And
Thank you everybody.
And perhaps there is something that you want to say to our dearest audience as a closing statement?
Well, no, I just want to thank everybody. Thank you for those who are here. Thank you for and those who are watching. And I wish that I really pray that we get to do all this in person and not just through the camera or through the screen soon. I know that we are all doing this because we just want to encourage everybody to keep on singing, and that's exactly what I want to do, and encourage everybody to keep on singing. Singing virtually may not be easy, it may be challenging, but still it is what we can do as for now Okay, so and there are other things that we are learning while doing this. So in what we would like to happen is that at the end, when all this is over, we will come out of this stronger, knowing more, and still, improved in singing and all that. And hopefully, we will meet our choirs again soon and make even more beautiful music. Thank you again, everybody, and all the best to all of your future events.
Yes, thank you, sir. And yeah, it is the end of our discussions today. And thank you very much for being with us during this talk show. And I would also like to say thank you to our sponsor, Telkomsel and Waskita Karya. And Sir Mark, we hope that you will always remember this moment. I really hope so. And stay healthy. I can't wait to see you in the next event, maybe. And I hope that we can meet in person. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And yeah, you may leave the Zoom meeting now. Yeah, how was it, audiences? And I hope you get new insights from previous discussions. And since we have passed a long and very insightful discussion, now it's time to refresh our brain. And this time, we'll play a very fun game. And we would like to inform you that there will be a reward to the participant that can successfully answer the most questions. And here's the regulation for today's game. Number 1, participants will be given lyrics pieces from a hit pop songs that is scrambled backwards. Number 2, participants should answer the name of the singer and the song title of the scrambled lyrics. And the participant that wants to answer should use raise hand feature first, and then will be given the chance to speak by me as your host for today. And yeah, if you guys are ready, we can move on to the game, starting from the first song. Okay, and here is the first question. Sad so is dismayed, this should that. Laugh you making me, this should that. Hand you're holding me, this should that. So, does anyone know what song is this? Okay, we have Lucia. So what is the answer? Hello? That should be me. Sang by who? Justin Bieber. Okay, about the answer, is it right? We will see the answer. Then that's correct. Congratulations, Lucia. And now we will move on to the next question. Style of outgo never we cause. The time every back came, come down, crashing go. We went, and like you, that thing classic lip red that got I, and I your, in look daydream, Dean James, that got you. Okay, from Nur Shafa. Is it Style by Taylor Swift? And now we will see the answer. Is it right? And that's correct. Congratulations, Nur Shafa. Okay, move on to the next question. Havana in is hard my butt, oh. Atlanta is to back me to key. Havana in is hard, my of half. Does anyone know the answer to this question? Okay, we have Johannes Pasca. Do you know the answer?
Havana by Camila.
Havana by Camila. So, let's see the answer. Is it right or not? And it is totally correct. Congratulations, Johannes Pasca. Now, move on to the next question. That like hot, you're into breaking trouble like popcorn. Undercover criminal, like butter, like smooth. I think it is pretty obvious, right? About this question, I think everyone knows about this song. Okay, we already have another answer by Johannes Pasca. It is Butter by BTS. Is it right? And that is totally correct. Congratulations again, Johannes Pasca. And now for the last question. Morning, the in bed, he's in upwake, gonna know you. Friend, his be don't tree. Again out, him kick to have you. In him let down to. Alone and drunk, his cause calling, only he's know you. Found the uppick, don't one. This one's the hot one. Even I don't know what the answer is. Why is it so hot? Okay. Okay, we have Smamda voice, Farid. So, who sang the song, Farid? Hello? Smamda voice underscore Farid? Do you know who the singer is? Dua Lipa. Okay, new rules by Dua Lipa. And now we will see the answer. Is it right? And the answer is totally correct. Congratulations, Farid. And yeah, we have come to an end of the game. And I guess it's obvious who the winner is, but I'll congratulate the winner now. And congratulations to Priscilla Sukma. And now, okay, I'm sorry. We actually have two winners, right? We have Priscilla Sukma and Farid. Congratulations to both of you. And the committee will soon contact you regarding the reward. And once again, congratulations. And the time we've been waiting for has come. And I will announce the participants that actively participate during this event and will receive a reward from the committee. And congratulations to Priscilla Sukma from Brawijaya University Student Choir and Farid from Smanda Voice. And the committee will soon contact you regarding the reward. Once again, congratulations. And we would like to say thank you to our sponsor, Telkomsel, Waskita Karya, dan Linggar Prabangkara for supporting this event. Alright, and now 2 hours has passed in a blink of an eye, and sadly, we've now reached the end of today's event. And I would like to say thank you to all of the participants that has been participating on this talk show from the beginning until the end. And I also want to remind you that tomorrow we still have another fun event of the 10th International Brawijaya Choir Festival, so make sure you join the event. And me, Priyanda, as the Master of Ceremony, representing all the committee, once again would like to say thank you to all participants that helped us during this event. And see you later. Thank you so much, guys. See you later. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom. Om Swastiastu. Om Shanti Shanti Om. Namo Buddhaya. And may peace be upon us all.